Okay, so did you know that for a lot of new homeowners in Albuquerque, starting your water service might actually happen automatically? Like without you even having to lift a single finger to turn it on? I mean, it sounds like an absolute dream for anyone who has ever dealt with the nightmare of moving, right? Setting up utilities usually feels like this giant maze of paperwork and terrible phone hold music. But welcome to this explainer. Today, we are totally demystifying the Albuquerque water service process, taking you from day one of your move all the way to becoming a water-saving desert pro. Whether you're moving right into the heart of the city or out to a master planned enclave, we're going to break down exactly what you need to prepare and how to avoid some surprisingly common pitfalls. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our 6-step roadmap for today: preparation, the application process, rates and payments, installation and activation, managing your account, and finally, sustainability and community resources. Section 1. Preparation. Right, so before you fill out a single form or make a phone call, you have to figure out exactly which utility provider serves your specific home. It is so easy to just assume the city of Albuquerque handles all the water, but there's actually a geographical split here that you really need to be aware of. Basically, if you live in the city proper, your provider is the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority, usually just called the ABCUA. However, a pretty big chunk of the outlying metropolitan population, like folks in certain master plan developments and unincorporated enclaves, well, they're actually serviced by private or semi-municipal utilities. The main one you need to know is the New Mexico Water Service Company, though places like Sandia Heights have their own specialized private entities. Figuring this out first is absolutely crucial so you don't follow the wrong instructions and end up delaying your move-in. Section 2. Application process. Now, once you actually know who your provider is, it's time to get that water flowing. And what's really fascinating here is how vastly different the setup process is depending on who your provider is. If you're in the ABCWA territory, you get to experience this incredibly efficient automated onboarding process. It's actually property-based rather than person-based. Here's how it works. First, right after the county records your property deed, the utility automatically updates its ownership database. Second, and honestly, this is the best part, the physical water service actually remains active throughout this whole transition. You're never without water. Third, you just wait for the first physical bill to arrive in the mail, which might literally just say current resident. And finally, once you get that bill, you just hop online and create a digital profile to link the property to your name. Simple as that. And there is some really fantastic news for anyone using this city service. The ABCWUA requires absolutely zero deposit. And better yet, zero connection fee for new service. I mean, that is a massive win for your moving budget right there. But we definitely need to contrast the city's automated magic with the process for the New Mexico Water Service Company. If you live in their territory, they use a much more traditional person-based contract model. So no, you cannot just wait around for a bill to show up. You actually have to submit a formal application for service at least one business day prior to your move. You're going to need to gather some specific info: your full service address, your start date, the last 4 digits of your social security number for credit verification, your phone numbers, an emergency email, and a separate billing address if you have one. It's a strict requirement, so definitely get all this paperwork organized ahead of time. Section 3. Rates and payments. Okay, let's talk numbers, because understanding your rates is key to managing your new household budget. For the city municipal service, your bill is a consolidated invoice. That means it combines water, sewer, and trash collection all into one single monthly payment, which is super convenient. To put that into perspective, for an average household using about 5,000 gallons a month, here is the breakdown. You've got a fixed water base fee of $11.21, plus a volumetric rate of $2.86 for every 1,000 gallons. Sewer uses a tiered structure that averages out to about $17.34 for this much usage. Add in an $18 flat fee for trash, and your combined total sits right around $60.85. The whole system is actually designed to promote conservation, so the more water you use, the higher that volumetric tier climbs. Now, a really crucial point here is how you actually pay that invoice, because the transaction costs vary. If you use a credit or debit card online or over the phone, a third-party merchant slaps on a flat 2.75% transaction fee. The city doesn't keep a dime of that, but it still comes right out of your pocket. To avoid this entirely, I highly recommend setting up an automated clearinghouse, or ACH, bank draft. It just automatically debits your balance each month, completely free of charge. Of course, you still have physical options like curbside drop boxes or Western Union agents if that's more your style. Section 4. Installation and activation. Let's talk about the physical reality of getting your water turned on, especially if you're moving into an outlying New Mexico water service district. This is a highly actionable tip that could literally save your home from a massive disaster. If your home's water connection at the curb has been physically shut off, the company mandates that an adult absolutely must be physically present inside the house when their technician arrives to turn it back on. Why? Well, imagine if the previous owners left a bathtub faucet wide open, or if there's a hidden internal leak. Turning the water on at the curb while no one is inside could cause catastrophic flooding. By being inside, you can instantly alert the tech to shut the water off if you hear it running where it definitely shouldn't be. Section 5. Managing your account. So once the dust finally settles from your move and your water is officially running, you'll want to leverage the digital tools available to you. Setting up an online profile with your provider is a real game changer. Through the city's digital portal, for example, you can actually monitor your usage history 24/7. This is critical for spotting hidden leaks. Like if you see a massive spike in usage while you were out of town on vacation, you instantly know something is wrong. You can also manage those automatic payments we talked about, go paperless to ditch the junk mail, and easily link multiple accounts if you happen to manage more than one property. But managing an account also means knowing what community support networks exist if times get tough. To help low-income families and prevent water shutoffs, there are some really vital emergency programs out there. There's the Low-Income Water and Solid Waste Credit Program, which partners with the nonprofit Storehouse New Mexico to provide ongoing bill credits. Also, the PNM Good Neighbor Fund hosts these great regional utility fairs where the Water Authority actually shows up on site alongside gas and electric providers to help eligible folks get emergency funding for past due balances. It's just a fantastic community safety net. Section 6. Sustainability and Community Resources. All right, finally, let's talk about long-term success. So, want to dramatically lower that monthly water bill? Because remember, water here is billed volumetrically. Literally every single drop you save keeps money in your wallet. Albuquerque takes water conservation incredibly seriously because the city relies on groundwater from the Santa Fe Group aquifer as well as surface water from the Rio Grande. And honestly, the city's conservation initiatives are amazing. They offer a completely free Ask an Expert program. Whether you're a master gardener or you literally don't know the first thing about plants, you can just email askanexpert@abcwa.org for personalized desert landscaping advice. You can actually send them pictures of your yard. They'll help you convert thirsty grass into a drought-friendly xeriscape, help you design a rainwater harvesting system, figure out drip irrigation, identify random desert plants, or even learn how to irrigate a vegetable garden efficiently. It is an unbelievable free resource to help you and the community stay sustainable. Okay, to wrap up our explainer today, just a quick disclaimer. The rates and specific policies we discussed are accurate as of August 2026. Utility rates do adjust over time, so please always check with local authorities for the most current procedures. We've covered the whole shebang today, from identifying your provider and understanding the application process, to breaking down your bill and leveraging community resources. But now I want to hear from you. What was the most surprising part of this process? Jump into the comments and enthusiastically drop your own Albuquerque moving tips or any questions you might have. And I'll leave you with one final provocative question to chew on as you settle into your new home. With our unique desert environment in mind and free expert advice literally at your fingertips, how much water and how much money could you save by completely rethinking your own backyard? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy moving!